I'm going to show you how to make the In the Hoop glasses case with closing flap from Kreative Kiwi. The version that I'm going to do is the 2 hoop version, which has got a quilted front pocket. You can make this in 1 hooping as well, and I will explain as we go along how to do that. So for this I'm going to be using a 5x7 hoop. In the first hooping I'm going to use 1 layer of cutaway stabiliser. In the second hooping I'm going to use 2 layers of washaway stabiliser because it's got an embroidered edge to it. A matching bobbin and thread, some pins with heads on them, some masking tape, some cam snaps for the closer, my Squizzors, and my fabrics and batting cut to size. You'll find a link to this design in the video description below. Place your stabiliser over the outer hoop and then insert the inside frame. Then we're going to pin around the edge, so take your pin, rest it on the inside hoop, push it through your stabiliser, bring it round and back through the stabiliser again, and that will anchor it, and you're going to do that on all 4 sides. The larger your hoop, the more pins that you will use. I'm going to be doing the pocket B on the front of my glasses case. So I've loaded that file into my machine along with my orange matching bobbin and thread colour, which I'm going to leave in throughout. I'm not going to be changing it. Then we're going to stitch round number 1, and that's going to give us our placement outline for our batting. Place your batting over the outline and tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 2 to secure it. Trim away the excess batting from around the edge of the stitch line, taking care not to cut your stitches. We're now going to place our fabric. You will have pressed your fabric in half and you're going to open it out with the right side facing up, and you're going to place this crease on this stitch line here, on the outer stitch line, and then you're going to tape it in place. I'm going to fold that out the wrong way for a minute, line it up, and then open it out. That's about right. And then I'm going to secure it in place with tape. We're now going to pop our hoop into our machine and stitch round number 3, and that's going to secure our fabric and quilt it as well. We've now finished stitching the flap, so we're now going to free this from our hoop. So turn your hoop over and trim around the edge of the stitch line, taking care not to cut your fabric underneath, of course. And that's the front pocket of our glasses case stitched, and that will fold back like this, and it will be attached to the rest of the case in our next hooping. So we can now set this aside for the minute. Load your file for the flap into your machine. hoop and pin your 2 layers of wash away stabilizer, and we're using wash away this time because this is going to end up with an embroidered edge. Then you're going to pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 1, and that's going to give you a placement outline for your batting and your front pocket placement lines. I'm just going to extend these lines to make life easier in a bit. We're now going to add our batting. Place your batting over the outline and tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 2 to secure it. Trim away the excess batting from around the edge of the stitch line, taking care not to cut your stitches. You're now going to place your front and lining fabric. Now the outside of your glasses case is going to be added to the back, and you're going to place that face up over the outline and tape it in place. And then you're going to add your lining fabric on the front of the hoop, and again you're going to place that face up and tape it in place. Pop your hoop into your machine and stitch round number 3, and that's going to secure and quilt your fabrics. If you were making the single hooped version, you would now add your fabric and you would have it folded in 2, right sides facing outwards, and then you would place it over the front, and you would line up the crease with your fold. If you're doing the quilted version, then you're going to want the quilting on the outside, and I've folded the lining over to cover the back, and we're going to do exactly the same. Line up this stitch line here to this one here to this one, and that will bring you in line with these marks that you made earlier that I've gone over in pen so that you can see what I'm talking about. So once you're happy with the alignment, you're then going to tape it in place. And I'm also going to put a little piece of tape each side here so that as my foot travels, it doesn't get caught underneath the pocket. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape here and here. We're now going to pop our hoop into our machine and stitch round number 4, and that's going to secure the pocket to the flap. We're now going to trim up all the excess fabric from both back and front of our hoop. So turn your hoop over and trim around the edge of the stitch line, taking care not to cut any stitches. We're now going to do the same on the front. Load your matching bobbin and thread colour for the satin stitch border around the edge of your case into your machine, and then stitch round number 5. We're now going to free our case from the hoop, so turn your hoop over and cut around the edge of the stitch line, taking care not to cut your stitches. We're now going to add our closer, and I'm going to use a cam snap, and although I got a yellow out earlier, I've decided that I'm going to go with orange instead. So I'm just going to pop my glasses into the case. And then I can fold this over and work out where I'm going to put my closer. And I think it's going to go just there. So I'm going to just put a little marker here because that's where I'm going to pierce it. And I'm going to push my sharp spike awl, whatever you want to call it, through. And then I'm going to mark underneath where the second part of my snap's going to go, and that's going to be there. I can now remove the glasses, and that's going to come over and close like so. Okay, we're going to create a hole through the fabric, so make sure that it's all nice and central, and then you're going to push your sharp awl through and create a hole. Then you're going to take the spiky button part with the button on the inside of your case. You're going to push it through the hole that you've created, and then you're going to take one of the male or female parts of the cam snap and push it onto the button. Then take your setting tool, put the button part in the black cup and the male or female in the clear cup, and then squeeze nice and tight, and that's now set. We're going to do the same through the top in the hole that we've already created. This time you want the spike to push through from the back of your case so that it comes through, the spike comes through on the lining. Then you're going to add your opposite, in this case it's the male part of your cam snap, and again with the button in the black cup and the other piece in the transparent silicone piece, you're now going to squeeze them together, and that is now set. And there's your glasses case. All that we need to do now is dissolve the excess stabiliser from around the edge of the case. So take your cotton bud and some warm water, dip it in and wipe it round the edge. And that's our glasses case finished. I hope you enjoyed this stitch along. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to be notified of new videos as soon as they're published. Do pop along to Kreative Kiwi's Facebook group. There's always lots of ideas, help and inspiration there for everybody. And thank you very much for joining me. You'll find a link to this design in the video description below, along with lots of other things such as where I get my supplies and some discount codes for you as well. See you next time.